guys, welcome to Cooped Up Cooking. This is going to be our first episode, and today we're going to be making sweet potato boats. I don't want you guys to think of this as a recipe, I want you to think of this as a concept, because at home you might not have the same ingredients as me, and I want you to be able to recreate this as your own version with what's in the cupboard at home. Okay, let's get started. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our sweet potato. I like to clean them up a little bit, take off any parts that don't look nice, but I like to eat the skin. It's really good for you, so I'll always leave my skin on. And I'll just cut off the little end bits. Make sure it looks alright. Maybe take off a little bit of the skin here. And then we're just going to cut this right in half. Best to make a flat surface for yourself to work with, just for safety. Alright, so we're just doing that right in half. We're going to put it into our bowl here. And we're just going to add some spices, so always salt, so I'll add a little bit of salt. It's probably about half a teaspoon, for those of you who like to measure. Got a little black pepper, not too much. Add some olive oil. You can add the oil first and the spices after, doesn't really matter. You're going to toss it to coat, so it'll all stick. I'm adding a little bit of paprika because I'm going to do a Mexican version, but you could do Mediterranean or... Anyways, I'll give you a bunch of suggestions. Chickpeas, we're going to have black beans on these today, and a little bit of coleslaw. And that's just a little bit of Cajun spice, but you could use cumin, coriander, whatever's in your cupboard spice-wise. I'll give you a list of different spice mixtures you can play with. And I'm just going to give that a toss. Make sure it's nice and coated with the spices and the oil. I'm going to place it face down on here. Alright. Now I've preheated my oven already. My oven's at 425. Okay, and that's going down. Here we go. Alright, okay guys, so I'm going to put these in the oven now that they're nice and coated in our spices and our olive oil. My oven is set to 425. Your oven at home might be really strong, so you might want to set it to 400, but your oven might be really weak, so you might want to up that to 450. Try and feel it out. If you're not sure, just set it to 425. We're going to go for a golden brown on these, okay? So that's going to go in the oven now, and it's going to be in there on the middle rack for about, depending on the size of your sweet potato, we're going to leave that for 35 minutes, and then we're going to check it. And we'll flip it over, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so we're going to do a little onion in our coleslaw today, so I've just cut this in half from the root down, and I'm going to actually take the end off because we're just slicing this onion, we're not dicing it. And then I'm going to peel back that skin, and we're just going to go across. And slice that up. Nice and thin. Okay guys, so we're going to do a little carrot in our coleslaw today, and we're also going to do a little bit of cabbage as well, some red cabbage. So I'm just going to show you a little trick. I don't have a peeler right now, so I'm just using a spoon. And that actually works just as well. Works for carrots and ginger, kind of any hard root vegetable. If you don't have a peeler at home, you can just grab a spoon, and boom, it's done. Awesome. Okay guys, so I've just finished grating up half a carrot. We've got, that's about 3/4 of a cup. We've got about a cup of cabbage cut up here, and then we also have about a 1/4 cup of onion, all right? And next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on a little dressing for that one, okay? So right now I'm just gonna zest this lime, and that's gonna go into our mayonnaise dressing for our coleslaw. We're gonna do a zesty lime dressing. Okay, and one more tip when you're doing this, guys, is you gotta make sure you don't go past here. You don't wanna see white. You just wanna get the green bits off. If you go too far, it's gonna be bitter. It's not gonna be good. So just be careful and only do a little bit. Okay guys, so this is gonna be our dressing in here. I'm using some chipotle peppers. This is the brand that I get. You can get them at No Frills. They're great. They're a little bit spicy though. We like spicy. If you don't like spicy, just use a little bit of paprika or a little bit of cumin. That would be a great replacement if you didn't want to use something like chipotles. I'm going to put in 1 whole pepper, and I'm doing about half a cup of yogurt. You could use mayonnaise, sour cream, you could use a mix of any of those things. Those would be great for making the dressing. And then I've also taken all of my lime zest and I've put that in there. And at the end, we'll actually add some of the juice and then a little bit of salt and pepper. So to make this dressing, I'm gonna put it in a blender. Another option that you could use is you could use a hand blender. That would work as well. And otherwise, just whisk it up. If you don't have the chipotle that you need to blend, just give it a whisk with your hand, okay? Okay, so this is the yogurt chipotle dressing I made. So it's the lime juice, yogurt, our chipotle. But like I said at home, if you don't have chipotles or you don't like spicy, a bit of paprika and cumin and lime is beautiful. Okay, so next we've pulled our sweet potatoes out of the oven. They're nice and cooked. We've got a little color on here. So we're just gonna give it a little smash because these are gonna go back in the oven again. So we're just gonna smash that up a bit and sort of make it like a boat. We want to sort of open it up. There we go. All right, and then in there, we're gonna add a nice handful of black beans for some protein. Yum, yum. Oh my gosh, so good. And then after that, we're gonna do a little bit of cheese, just over the top. And then we're gonna pop that back in the oven just to melt the cheese because the sweet potato is pretty much cooked. So you could do that under your broiler or you could just pop it back in your hot oven. That'll melt and come out awesome after. And then we'll finish it with the coleslaw and the dressing. Okay guys, so here's our coleslaw. I've added a couple of spoonfuls of our dressing and our sweet potatoes have come out of the oven. They're over here. And the cheese is melted and you can see those black beans on there. And now we're just gonna pile this up like a big stuffed sweet potato. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay. And then after that, if you had cilantro at home, that would be delicious. You know, you can put whatever toppings on here. You could do tomato, avocado would be awesome. But you know, work with what you've got in your home. And then I love dressing. So on mine, I'm definitely gonna be adding some extra of my yogurt because it's delicious. And then from there, I would just add a little pepper and just a sprinkle of salt on the top. Not too much for those of you that don't want all that sodium. And we'll just plate that one up and we'll show you how it looks at the end. I've just added a little cucumber. You could add cilantro, cucumber, tomato, and we've got a little bit of extra lime on the side. And we're gonna enjoy that for lunch now.